It's always great to know the best places to retire, but it's even more important to know some of the worst states to retire. This way you may think about twice going there. And today I have the list of the bottom 5 states that you may want to stay away from or think twice about retiring in. The number 1 place for the worst state in the country goes to, drum roll, Kentucky. And here's why. There are limited healthcare options, especially in rural areas. So if you are looking for some specialty care, you're going to have to travel. Kentucky is known for some extreme weather. You definitely have 4 seasons. You're going to have thunderstorms, you're going to have snow, and there's going to be tornadoes, some other funky things. There are limited transportation options, which means that you are going to have to rely on your car, and that will be it. And another important note to know about Kentucky is that Kentucky does tax most retirement income except for Social Security. So there you have it. Number 2 place goes to the state of New Jersey, one that I know very, very well. And here's why. New Jersey is famous for high property taxes, for high homeowners and auto insurance. And when you put all of those things together, the cost of living is going to be pretty hefty. Plus, if you think about it and you look at the map, the state of New Jersey is small. It's about, it takes an hour and a half or so to get down from the North Point to the South Point, which means that it's going to be heavily populated. And with a lot of people comes traffic and congestion, especially when you get closer to like Philly and New York City. New Jersey does have all 4 seasons, and when hurricanes come, definitely New Jerseyans do feel it. There is going to be heat, humidity, mosquitoes, and other bugs in the summer, and there are going to be blizzards in the wintertime. And also, important thing to know, New Jersey does tax your pension as well. Number 3 on our list is the state of Mississippi. A couple of points to know is that first, there's very limited cultural things that are there to do. There are some museums and there are some things, but not a lot. There are limited job opportunities, which is important to think about is if you want to supplement your income in your retirement time. And we have a full bag of natural disaster things that are not fun to look at, like tornadoes and thunderstorms and just wacky weather overall. Mississippi State does tax your pension, but not your Social Security. Mississippi also has lower healthcare options, so that is just something to note if that is important to you. Number 4 on our list is Rhode Island. Number 1 thing to know about Rhode Island, it does tax majority of your retirement benefits except for Social Security. Overall cost of living is higher than some of the other states, so that's something to keep in mind. Like housing and healthcare costs are higher when you look at the values. Naturally, the weather can be funky. You can have hurricanes and you can have some heavy snow as well. And traffic can get funky and congested right around major cities like Newport and Providence. And the 5th place on our list is the state of Oklahoma. Overall, the affordability index is pretty good, yet there are some things to consider. For example, the weather. You're going to have tornadoes and hurricanes and some really highs and lows. There are also issues with transportation. It is pretty rural in many places, which means that you're going to have to rely on your car. And there are limited healthcare options, especially in rural areas. If you are looking for some specialty doctors, you're going to have to travel. I really like this spreadsheet and this table where I'm getting this information from, because you can really dig in deep based on the things that are important to you. The research that was done does cover pretty good statistics, and the major ones that they're including that you can actually search for on the table are affordability, healthcare, and quality of life. So when you are looking at things and you're looking at that spreadsheet, you can actually hit the upper arrow button or the bottom arrow button and take a look and see which state makes sense to you based on some of the things that you're looking for in your retirement research. Like, for example, the highest state of the population of ages 65 and older are going to be these states: Maine, Florida, West Virginia, Vermont, and Delaware. And here's my bonus thought when you are looking at these rankings. Let's take the state of New Jersey, for example. It is the 2nd worst state to retire according to this research. Let's dig in a little bit deeper. Here's an example. We're talking about New Jersey, which means that from the northern point to the southern point, it's only 116 miles or so, and it's very skinny, right? If you look at the map as a grand big picture, it is really, really small. Yet, I can tell you that North Jersey is very different from central New Jersey and very different from South Jersey. And at the same time, yes, your income is taxed in New Jersey. However, what I encourage you to do is to consider other options that may be important to you. For example, if you love the beach and the ocean, New Jersey has miles and miles of Jersey Shore, if that's important to you. If you are looking for world-class healthcare, New Jersey has access to those. You have New York City with really great hospitals. You also have Philadelphia in the south with really great hospitals. New Jersey itself is home to Deborah Heart and Lung Center, which is famous for quality care as well. And you know what? Even in a small state like New Jersey, I guarantee you can find affordable areas where the property taxes are not biting, where you have a yard where it's nice and quiet, even though overall the research says that the state is overall congested. It's too populated. So my thought is, when you are doing the research, even though the big picture, kind of like a bird's eye view, is telling you that could be one of the worst states to retire, decide on what's important to you. Perhaps culture or being close to Broadway in New York City is important to you. And you can go to the mountains and be there in 2 hours. You can go to DC. Maybe the location of where everything is more important to you than potential income tax on your pension. So you have to do some math, you have to figure it out, and you have to include that in your budget. And another food for thought is, for example, if you were to compare cost of living in New Jersey versus cost of living in New York City, those two things, when you compare, it's a lot less expensive to live in New Jersey than it is to live in New York City. So again, it's all about perspective. So the question I have for you, are you currently living in one of these 5 states? Can you share with us what you think about living there? What are some of the pros and some of the cons? So that way, those that are doing their research can include that valuable information in helping them plan for their golden years.